Hello, welcome to my channel. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I have the time and everything to do it now. So I am going to do it, and we'll see if it works. Here's what I want to do. I want to make a heart-shaped box without any dies or anything. Now, if you have a die and you want to use a die, unless you have different sizes, it's not really going to work. I was going to say you can, but really it's not going to work unless, well, I'll show you when I'm doing the box. But now Cricut will work. So here is my thought. First of all, I want to do a heart shape. So this is really thick paper, and I hate to use the really thick. I'd rather find the thinner. Yeah, here's some thinner. So I'm just going to cut out a heart shape, and we all know how to do that, right? So I'm going to cut out a heart shape, and that's folding it. You know, my heart's not going to turn out perfect, and I'm not going to try to make it turn out perfect at this point. I just want it to see if this is even going to work, you know. Okay, so here we go. Here's a heart. Oh, that's way bigger than what I wanted to do. I wanted to do, because that would be the size of my box, and that's too big. So let's go smaller than this. Oh, that's not a good shape. Okay, let's see. I didn't quite want it that way, but we're going to try it. So now I've got this one. Now, of course, you're not going to use a folded sheet for your box. That means I need to now take mine and trace it. And I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Okay, so we have, I need 4. I'm only going to trace 2 because I'm going to cut 2 out at a time. Now, I could trace all 4 just to make sure they turn out right, but I'm going to do, I want to make sure these are the same color. They are not the same color. I use these ones. So I'm going to trace this, and I have this marker. Now I can just trace it with a pencil or a pen or whatever. I'm going to use this because it's metal, and if I don't cover that up, maybe I can make it look like a kind of an embellishment. So I'll cut out 2 like this. So 1 and 2. Okay. Then I need 2 more. And I'm going to be short a sheet. Maybe I'll do them in this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now for this one, because I want these hearts to be a little bit bigger. And this heart, looking at this now, that is still big. Bigger than I wanted it to be. Now I'm going to use the thick side of this marker. So if you don't have this marker, which a lot of people won't, you can use like a Sharpie or whatever. But I'm going to use the thick side, because I want to make, I am not getting around. It is not tracing, I don't think. There we go. See, I'm on the heart. Now, I may be wrong, but I'm thinking that these hearts really, this shape really kind of has to be the same as the other one. And I really can't have it off. If that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 of this one. And so now when I go to cut these, I'm going to cut the outer edge. And when I cut these, I'm going to cut the inner edge. If that makes any sense. Okay. So I'm going to do this one from the inner. And it's just going to give us a little bit bigger shape is really what I'm hoping for. Because the bigger one's going to be the lid, right? And we only just need it a little bit bigger to fit over. Now, like I said, with a Cricut, this would be amazing. Because you could do you could have it cut your heart shapes and they would be exactly the same. But you could get it just a little bit bigger, you know, or a little bit smaller. So a Cricut would work really well. And like I said, I'm not being perfect because I'm doing a video. And if I wanted to be perfect, it would take us all day. I get that way sometimes. Okay, so then these 2, which are going to be the lid because they're going to be bigger, I'm going to cut the outside of the line. And that's just going to give us that just little bit of room. So I sure hope this works. And you can see this is where it kind of went off a little bit. So I'm just going to try to get it. Now I'm also going to do 2 more. Believe it or not, a little bit bigger than this. And I don't know that I'm necessarily going to cut it out right away, but I just use this to trace. And what did I do with that marker? And I'm just going to trace it a little bit bigger. And I'll come back to these later. But I wanted to do the tracing before I finished what I was doing. And I don't know if this idea is, like I said, I don't even know for sure if it's going to work. But it's just an idea I have. And we'll see. So I'm going to set these aside up there. And now I need I'm thinking 2 strips of paper, but I don't know how big. You have to figure out how tall you want your box at this point is what you would be doing. So I'm going to use this paper here. It might be a little flimsier than I want. But that one's just a tracer. That one's that. Okay. So these are the bigger ones. These are the small ones. And let's look at See, that looks like that's going to be maybe a little bit not big enough. Maybe. Well, we won't know till we get there, I guess so. But I was hoping that would be a thick enough line, make it big enough. And it really just needs to be a little bit, but there's just some spots that are thinner that it might not be enough, like right here. Anyways, I'm going to cut strips. So how big do you want? How tall do you want your box to be? And really, I'm going to need like 4 of these strips, maybe. And I better use this paper because I don't think I have enough for this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way. Cut these down. What size am I going to cut them down to? What size do I want? 2 inch. That's a lot. How about 1.5 inches? 1.5 inches. Where's my blade? My blade has disappeared. There it is. Right there. Okay. All right. For some reason, I was thinking about scoring and... Okay, so now I need to go to 9. I'm just going to go down 1.5 inches each time, and I'm going to do about 4 of them. Now, my top doesn't have to be as deep as my box if I don't want it to be. So maybe I won't do, maybe I'll do... No, I think I'm still going to stick to 1.5 inches. I think I'll stick to doing them the same. That just looks big, honestly. So now I need to go to 6. 6. Okay. Now I gotta score them. So I need to take a glue line off of this. So maybe that wasn't too bad. Maybe I was pretty good there about this. Maybe about a 1/2 inch glue line would be good. Yep, I think 1/2 inch glue line. So I'm gonna have to score. Put it up here. Let's see. Put it up against there. Go for that 1/2 inch, which is right here, and score it. And I'm going to do that with all 4 of these. I do like the scoreboard. It does seem easier to use for a scoreboard. But for some reason, I want to work off this side. I don't want to work off this side. So, I don't know. But I'm just going to do a 1/2 inch score on all 4 of them. Now here's a thing. It probably didn't need to be this big. Now that I'm looking at it. Probably 3/8 would have been really nice to do. But now, what I want to do, okay, let's score it. And this paper is pretty thin, so I'm not too worried about it cracking or anything. So I'm just going right in, scoring it. Otherwise, I would take a little bit more time and try to be a little bit more careful with it. But this paper, I haven't had it too long, a few months, and it's thinner. So like I said, now we're going to work these here like this. And we're going to turn and bring it this way. And then we'll cut just a little bit, but we can start to get a little bit of bend in it. But we have to worry about what this paper here is going to do on the other side. So I'm going to just divot it out here and there. Just, you know, it's still got to be able to grip good. And I'm just putting divots. I think that's what it's called. Just so it's not getting itself, you know. And I don't know if that's going to end up being enough or not, but we will find out. As I'm coming where the straight side's going to be, you know, it's going to be straighter here. I'm not going to be as worried about getting it so tight together. So that'll save me some of that cutting. So what this will do is go this way, right? Just on here, but I need to bring it all the way here, so I need to more. Let me see. So really, it's going to start here. Here. And it's going to work its way around. Right? Around, around. Around, around. Around, around, around. Around. And so that would be the stop spot. But I also need to make sure I have a glue tab for the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing it down. And then I'll worry about the next one after I get to that point. Okay, so I'm just going to stick it down, And if you have to take more divots out of it, then go ahead and take more divots out. But you have to have those divots to get those turns. See? There's that spot where I put my hand. I better put a little bit more glue in there. So like I said, if you need to add more divots, then you can add more divots. Okay. See, and that's why I said less here, because it's straighter. It doesn't need to make such a big curve. And then I'm gonna cut it. And I'm just gonna leave a little bit in case I need a glue tab right there. Right? And you'll know because it'll be like that. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I'm gonna put divots in it just to help it make the curves. And the sharper the turn, the more divots it's gonna need. And I wondered about using my scissors, my zigzag scissors, but I don't know that they would leave a big enough. I've been thinking about this box since Christmas. I don't know why, but since Christmas, I thought, I'm gonna do a heart-shaped box when we get closer to Valentine's. So, here we are. And all that's gonna do, and see, actually, I'm doing it backwards. I need more divots here. So, let me add some little divots in here. And you can, you know, just kind of play with your paper a little bit. What made me say that? Why can't I go this way? Okay, so I got the little glue tab here. So I'm going to take and put glue on here real good. And glue that down. And I'm going to come in with this one. And I'm just going to get it glued together. And I'm going to hold these because I want these to fit pretty good. See, I want them in here pretty good. I want them together pretty good. Okay, now I can come, and I'm going to be a little generous with the glue. See, that didn't go in tight over here. There we go. Doesn't want to be as it doesn't want to be as cooperative this time. But guess what? It doesn't have a choice. Maybe I divoted it too much. See, and I know a Cricut would make a big difference, and I got a Cricut. I could have done these with a Cricut, but I wanted to make sure that the people that don't have a Cricut can still do it. And all you need for this really is paper, scissors, glue. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this one off. And I'm going to let this one be the one that comes over. I got to get these on here good. Set this down. Just line it up and get them down. Looks a little wobbly. Okay, so this one is gonna be my, ooh, I cut that a little bit short for that, didn't I? So, and I might cut this part here off. And those will glue down. And I might go ahead and cut that one off too, just to make sure it lays nice. Okay, get some glue on here. A big thing come out of my bottle. I don't know how it did, but it did. Okay. And I think I'm gonna just trim this a little bit. I don't know why it's off. Because, well, maybe I needed to pull that in more. Okay. So to cover this up, first off, I need to do this one more time for the top, right? So the top was the bigger one. And now I have to see if that's actually going to work. It might. Okay, so I'm just going to do divots, divots, divots. And of course, I'm doing this very fast because I'm doing it on a video. And I'm not editing because I don't edit, so that if I mess it up, you know why. And then you won't do the same thing, right? That's the way I see it. I like the way that one turned for me. Even though it turned the wrong way. What am I doing? I turned it the wrong way. Because of with that score line. So let me get this thing to curve here. There we go. I'm going to do it a little bit more because I'm not sure how much of this I need. And it's all going to depend on, you know, your heart. How big your heart is. How big you want your heart to be. So this is going to go on here. Just like that. So I'm going to come here and stick the glue on. Hopefully I make this big enough. Okay, I want that in there tight. Boy, this flimsy paper. This top paper is flimsier because I figured it's the lid. It didn't matter, but... And I'm going to be layering it. Honestly, I just need to get this hurried up a little bit because this video is taking way too long and I wanted to do a couple of things with this. And I want some kind of little glue tab in just in case, right? In case I need a glue tab here. I've got a glue tab here. And, of course, I want to make sure there's no... I don't want to see air, you know, see light coming through. And I do see light coming through in a couple of spots. But then, too, it depends on what you're going to put in here. You put some candies in here, yeah, you can have some light coming through, but... Okay, and the last strip, and just divot, just gonna start divoting. Now if you're doing this at home, you're not worried about the camera, you're not worried about explaining it, you know, you're just gonna go in and do it. You don't have to show nobody. And so I don't think it'll really take too long to get them out. And I think if you spend as much time as I'm doing with this one, when you don't have to do, like I said, explain it or show people or whatever, you're just doing it, I think you could put, you know, get a better quality, because for one thing, I feel like I'm rushing it. So you won't. So yours will come out a little bit better. And I think we could end up with some cute boxes. Really easy. I mean, it might seem like a pain, but it's really not that bad. Little divots in this thing It's not that bad. So this is going to go which way? This way. Right? I wonder if I divoted enough out. I'll just give it a little bit more. Just to make sure. I'm sure you can measure it and do all of that. I'm not doing that. I'll just divot a little bit more. And then if I'm off, I'm still going to be off, right? Okay. So here's my little glue tab, and I'm just gonna, I need it all the way. I'm just gonna cut it right there. And put some glue here. And like I said, this paper here is a lot thinner than the other one. It's a little bit harder to work with because it's not really holding its own. When I'm putting this other paper on it, it's wanting to give. So that's what happens though when you don't use the right papers for the job. But see, the other one, this one is a stronger paper. I was able to push into it and stuff more than I am with this one. And I want it straight up and down. And now I am going to go ahead and clip this one here. Because I think I didn't get it off. It's going to be better to use this one to come over. So here we go, here we go. And I just put a little fold in there. Just like that. Come on, stay down. See, that's why it's always a little bit better to have a glue tab instead of just doing this, but I think it'll work still. Still gonna work out. This has to be snipped over. I really want to see if they're going to fit together, but I'm afraid this one's not ready for that yet. But at this point, I would not go any farther than this without making sure that the box top fits over the bottom. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go any farther. I would, until you can check and make sure it's going to go over. Look at that. Pretty good. I could have been a little bit better, but could have been a little bit tighter. Could have been. But you can see where I pushed too hard, and then this one was a little bit weaker, wobbly or whatever. So now what I'm going to do is take this one and glue it over the top of that one, and this one will go here. Is that the right way? Or is that the right way? I think this is the right way. You could see where I messed up tracing. Not tracing, but cutting. So I'm just going to glue this on. But we do have our box. I just want to give you another idea. So we can glue these on. And decorate it up and leave it like this, right? We wouldn't have to do any more to it if we didn't want to. Or, you know, we could put lace around the outside or beads, something like that. You know, whatever we want to do. And then this one is going to go here. Now, there's more we can do though. And this is what. Does it go that way? Does it go this way? It might have been the other way, but it's too late now. Anyways, of course, like I said, if I wasn't doing this video, I would be much pickier. I would be making sure everything's right. This is your box, right? And if you do it, you take your time and you do it right and everything, you make sure you trace it nicely, and you, like I said, take your time doing it, then it can be a very pretty box. But here's what I was thinking, to take it a step further. This is not a big enough, not going to be big enough. So I'm just going to cut around this. And remember now, I'm not being the most accurate here, because I'm doing this for the video. But I want to make this quite a bit bigger. But generally the shape needs to be the same. Because just like the Halloween candy boxes, we can put a platform on it, right? We can put a platform, and I was way off on that shape. So at this point, all you would do is glue it onto the platform. You wouldn't need to put these ones on because you're going to put it on this one, right? So these ones you wouldn't need. Unless you wanted to, just to make it that much stronger. I just went ahead and did that so you could see what a finished box like that would look like. But another option is to do the little platform, and all you're really doing is adding another piece. You're just adding it to a bigger piece. See? So now you could do it that way. But wait, because some of them come with a platform on both sides. Now, if your hearts are perfect, everything's perfect, this should line up. But like I said, with mine, I was in a hurry. I'm just wanting to give you ideas, though. So I'm going to take this. And see, I also have mine turned. And you wouldn't have yours turned. See, because now this side's going to be that side. Because there's that where I cut it short. And I cut it short on that side. But I turned it over because of the mark. See the mark? Okay. So then we'll put the lid back on. And guess what? That extra space in the back where I said, oh, it could have been lined up a little bit better. Nobody's going to see it now. So now we could decorate this or this, whichever side you want to be the top, and whichever side you want it to be the bottom. It's all up to you. I think it's a great idea. I'm glad I did it. Now, I don't think we could take a shape and add, I think it needs to be this way. I really can't think of another way that it would really work. But that's pretty sturdy. I mean, it's at this point got 3 layers on the top, right? And the bottom. And the bottom one was already thicker. So, I'm pretty happy with it. What do you think? Let me know. If you like my video, and if you have any ideas, if you have a better suggestion, leave a comment. I may try it. I may say, okay, let's do video. Somebody told me to try this, try that, and I might do it on the video. So, yeah, so I hope you liked my video. If you did, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll join me again. Bye-bye now.